Hey guys, day 4 of the keto plan has been going great so far. I'll get to the weigh-in in a minute. Sorry about yesterday. There was a technical problem, which I don't know how this happened. There was supposed to be a little icon in the corner, and it filled up the whole page. And so when I went to the weigh-in, of course, it just covered up the entire scale, and there was no weight being shown. So very sorry about that. However, today is even better. I lost even more weight. It's down even lower, and I'm about 5 pounds down. Yesterday was about 4.5. Now it's about 5. Things are going great. Again, in the initial stages of the weight loss in keto, you're always going to get uh, a little bit of variation, but you're going to get a lot of results right away up front. Okay, so the results are coming at the end. If you don't want to watch the video, you can go right to the end, just fast forward right to about the last 20 seconds and you will see the results. So today what I wanted to quickly talk about was two things. Coffee and apple cider vinegar, both essential elements to the weight loss situation. Why is that? Well, both essentially perform a function. Now, I'm going to simplify, of course. Again, I've referenced Dr. Eric Berg. I've referenced, well, he's not a doctor, but Thomas DeLauer, who has fantastic information. And they can go into the very, minute details as to why these things work. So I suggest looking them up. And if I get a chance, I'll put the link down in the description. But for now, I will say that in terms of your weight loss journey, especially when you're on keto, you want to take advantage of apple cider vinegar and coffee. They're essential, in my opinion. Now, Dr. Berg had a video recently about, I think, maca drink. But essentially, it has about half the caffeine of coffee, but it doesn't have this sort of. Some people have big side effects with coffee. They get jittery, stuff like that. It can affect them that way. My wife, for instance, has that where she can't consume coffee just because it just makes her jittery. It just makes her too sort of high strung. But maca apparently doesn't have those side effects. So certainly something you can substitute coffee out for is this other drink. I haven't tried it myself. I can't testify, but apparently it doesn't have the jitteriness. It still gives you the caffeine. So to give you a quick rundown of what goes on, basically apple cider vinegar, in my opinion, is disgusting. It's gross, but you put it in some water. You can do it one way or the other. You can sort of go ahead and put a couple of tablespoons in water. Now, in terms of the amount of water you want to use, you can use a full glass. You can also use a smaller amount so that you can just sort of like drink it all at once, get it over with. I mean, I don't know anybody who says, I love the taste of apple cider vinegar. Actually, hold on one second. I'm going to go over to my fridge and I'm going to pop out some apple cider vinegar. And I mean, any video online is going to show you the same thing here. This is what they call Bragg's. And now, I'm not by any means a camera expert here, but anyway, Bragg's. Not getting a very clear image here. Bragg's is the brand name of apple cider vinegar. Everybody always says, with the mother. Again, sorry about the lack of quality here in terms of the video. I don't know. But anyway, with the mother, you can find this anywhere. And in terms of how much water, so just to give you an idea, again, I'm going to pop over here, grab my glass. This is a glass in relation to the apple cider vinegar. Personally, like I started off, I used to make a full glass of water and maybe 2 tablespoons. Now I eyeball it, so I'll just sort of pour some in, and I'll mix it up and sort of drink it. I don't even really mix it. I just sort of put them together and drink them. It has a very sharp taste. It's very bitter, sour. And it has a little bit of a burn when you drink it, especially depending on how diluted it is. So you can either go super diluted, but it'll take a bit longer to drink, or you can go less diluted and just get it over with. Either way, it's fantastic. What it does is it mobilizes fat. So basically, you have fat stores, and on a ketogenic diet, you're obviously releasing ketone bodies to energize yourself instead of using carbohydrates and sugars. Uh, you are and glucose. You will be using ketones primarily as your fuel source, and you'll transition into that period, which is what I'm doing right now. But what apple cider vinegar does is it releases the fat, makes the fat more available so that your body can use it more easily, and thus it's called fat oxidization, I believe. Again, look at the experts to find out the exact terms. I might be, but I mean, essentially it works well. I personally recommend at least once a day serving, but they say you can have 3 a day. You can have one before every meal, and in fact, there have been studies that have shown that if you drink apple cider vinegar before a meal, even if it's a carb-based meal, you will reduce the amount of, I guess, well, for one thing, it reduces insulin right away. So if normally I think the insulin, after you eat glucose, it spikes. Usually it stays in your system for about 4 hours. You cannot burn fat while you have high levels of insulin. So basically, this apple cider vinegar will reduce the insulin in your body. So instead of waiting 4 hours for the insulin to be gone, it'll be 2 hours. The glucose gets used up a lot quicker, and so you can enter into fat burning a lot sooner. And so that's one of the key things. So I normally will try to have some in the morning. Right now I'm actually doing more than I used to, so I'll have some in the morning. I will have some for lunch if possible. Usually if I'm at work I can't, but then in the evening, I think after you've eaten, and I mean even before you eat is fine, have some, because it'll work wonders. Now in terms of coffee, a lot of the same reasons for drinking it. Basically, you drink coffee and it again releases the fat. It allows your body to mobilize fat. I think that's the word I was looking for earlier, was fat mobilization. So apple cider vinegar, coffee, caffeine helps with the fat mobilization. And again, according to Tom DeLauer, go look up his video, but they recommend, according to a Canadian study, about 3 cups of coffee per day. People have these fears about coffee. Am I drinking too much? They're saying 3 to 5 cups a day, believe it or not. So go ahead and feel free to indulge. You can put cream in it. That's not a problem. And again, do that. We're going to have more great videos coming up soon. Will be a video on intermittent fasting. What's that all about? And again, my proposition, my value proposition that I'm showing you is that I'm an ordinary guy, and I'm telling you what I'm doing, and some of my struggles, some of my issues, some of the challenges, but some of the successes, some of the amazing successes, especially at the beginning, especially for people who've been stuck in the mud, haven't had an opportunity to do this. So anyway, I'm not going to let this video go any longer. Thank you for joining me. Please send your comments, put them on the bottom. And by the way, here we go, and I will show you the results, but we will see you next time, and have a great day.